My name is Shanieta Sease, and I am super grateful to have this opportunity to speak before you all today. I'm going to talk to you today about perseverance. Perseverance through humor. How laughter is, in fact, the best medicine. So let's talk about it, how life is lifing for us all, right? Internationally, we're hearing about wars and rumors of wars. Nationally, we're hearing about the debt crisis. We're having loss of loved ones. Life is happening to us all. And we need an antidote. And I'm here to talk to you today about that antidote that helped me while life was lifing real hard during COVID. I'm going to talk to you today about the antidote. And that antidote for me is a Gus-ism. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, what is a Gus-ism? A Gus-ism is a witty and utterance thing someone says that absolutely you're going to call them a fool. They're just outright funny. It's something that funny folks say that you can remember, that's what they're known for. And that's what this Gus-ism is for me. Everybody has somebody, but for me, it was my father, August, and we called him Gus. Let me tell you a little bit about my father. I dedicate this to him because he passed away in COVID in 2020. And my father loved to laugh. In fact, his laugh was contagious. He was going to make you laugh when he laughed. And the things he would say, either he was going to make you laugh or he was going to offend you. And everybody has somebody in their life where you are saying, they are a fool. You only talk to them if you want to laugh. You might not ask for a whole lot of advice, but you are going to laugh. And that was my father. He always wanted to make sure that everybody had a good time. So when I would talk to him, he would say utter and funny things like, have you talked to Jesus about this yet? You got a main line to him. I got to call him collect. Or he would say something to the source of, Jesus ain't stressing, is he? And I said, no, Dad, Jesus not stressing. Well, maybe after I talk to him, he might stress a little bit. And I say, no, Dad, Jesus not stressing over you. He can handle it. And he says, well, then he can handle you. And I'm like, okay. He would come back with something, but it was funny. So here's one of my greatest memories. If I ever talked about my children, and I have 3 boys, so anybody who has a boy or boys know that they're going to get in trouble in some shape, way, or form, right? So my boys would do something, and I would call my dad, and I would tell him, this is going on with him, and this is what he said, and this is what he did. And his main line every single solitary time was, shit, you better go get them boys a check. You better go get them evaluated and get a check for them. And that was his solution every time. And so automatically, I would do something like, I would hold my head and I would laugh. So I want you to think, who is that person for you? Everybody can create an ism. That Deborah talk, that Larry talk, that coworker talk. That person that when you get on the phone, you are sure for a good laugh. Who is that person for you? Is it your girlfriend? Is it your best friend? Is it your mom, your dad? Who is that person for you? Because you're going to absolutely need it when life is lifing. I want to tell you about some benefits to laughter. I found this out, that it is good as medicine, that it promotes good health, that it actually puts you in a better mood, that it stays with you, it resonates with you even after the laughter is gone. Humor is absolutely needed. It's needed for your physical health. Did you know that humor and laughter can help prevent heart disease? Did you know with mental health that humor and laughter can help promote a good mood? It changes your mood. Did you know that socially, laughter can actually strengthen relationships It brings group of people together. It's a reason to bond when you can have a good, funny person in your presence. I'm going to tell you about a time where I was having an anxiety attack. And this anxiety attack for me, I would never claim anxiety. I would never say I was depressed. But during COVID, I'm sitting at my desk and I am stressed out. I got my head on my head and I'm like, wow, this is really happening. My father was in the hospital, was sick for months, and then he passed away. I didn't get to talk to him, didn't get to see him again. And you remember during COVID, you couldn't visit the hospital. You can only do FaceTimes with your loved ones. So he can no longer talk, which is humor all in itself, because my father was funny. So to have him laid up and not be able to talk felt like depression all in itself. Then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't believe this. My business is booming. During the hardest time in people's lives as an insurance broker, my business takes off like never before. I have been in this industry for 11 years, and my business has done the best since COVID. I was sitting at my desk saying, I'm about to bury my father. I wrote his insurance policy. I'm about to make this happen. And then it hit me. It hit me that I wouldn't hear his laughter again. It hit me that I wouldn't hear his voice again. And then after burying him, I caught COVID. So now fear is overtaking me. What's next? Everything breaking down in my body. I don't have a clue what this is. If you've had COVID, you've probably felt the same way, had the same thoughts. Am I going to die? And then I do what I know to do. I pray. I talk to Jesus. And after I pray, I'm saying to myself, you know what to do. You've already prayed this. You've already talked to God about this. Now what? And then it hit me. I got my hand over my head and I instantly heard my father's voice. And he was like, you gonna do what you always do. You gonna call on Jesus. And then I kind of chuckled, and then I heard, shit, you better get them boys a check. And I'm like, Daddy, this is not the event for that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not it. But that was it. That was it for me. That's a Gus-ism. That's an ism of something someone says that's crazy and you like it's inappropriate. Don't say that right now. But you needed that. I know that somebody can relate to needing a good laugh, even if it's inappropriate. And that's what my father did for me. The loss of life brings grief, depression, sadness, faith challenges. But I still got to hear his voice through it all. And his voice wasn't him fussing at me, because if I went through all the things he said, it's totally inappropriate. He would say things like, I'm going to kick your ass if you don't answer my call. And leave me voice messages like, Negro, I know you see me, call. And it was just so many things I got to reminisce to hear his voice, and it did it for me. It did it for me during grief, and it can do it for you. What is those isms for you? Who is that person for you? And can you use laughter as a great medicine than taking antidepressants? Or what the doctor prescribed? Ask him to prescribe some laughter. So here it is. Use your Gus-isms, and I'm going to prescribe you some things to do that is going to lift your mood, lift your spirit, and to keep you laughing. Here's one I love. TikTok. TikTok has the best and funniest videos. You type in funny videos on TikTok, and you will laugh until you cry, because they do the absolutely dumbest things, and it is funny. It will have you laughing. What about a comedy show or watching a good comedy on TV or YouTube? I'm talking about those times where you're feeling depressed, when it's dark, when life is lifing. Use these things. Use your Gus-isms. Take advantage of the opportunity to make yourself laugh because it is good like medicine. One of the other things I will also recommend is getting together with people that you know are funny. Like, why wouldn't you invite the funny person? If you're in a bad mood, lighten that mood with a person who is just that crazy and funny, who's going to change your mood. I call it Gus-ism. What is your ism? Who is that person for you? I see my girl over here pointing to one. She got her person. Who is your person? Lighten up your day with laughter. So, this is your friendly reminder to use a dose of humor a day. And that whenever you find the ability to use humor in a difficult situation, guess what? You won. You're winning. Thank you very much for your time, ladies and gentlemen.